On Thursday evening, before the new Republican House of Representatives went to D.C., and of course before the speaker battle, Mike Johnson, the last Speaker of the House, came out publicly. He was furious that President Biden had just given the President's Citizens Medal to both Liz Cheney and Benny Thompson, the two co-chairs of the January 6th committee. It apparently just pissed him off to the point where he came out and publicly announced that, by God, this new Republican House of Representatives is going to be investigating the January 6th committee, something that Republicans have wanted to do for a long time. In fact, they actually had the ability to do it in the last 2 years, but decided it's not worth it. Something to keep in mind, right? But now, several years after the fact, Johnson's like, no, we're totally going to get to the bottom of it now. Here's what Johnson said. The January 6th Select Committee manipulated and destroyed evidence, created a fake, phony narrative, all to try and hurt Trump. They even hired a TV producer from the legacy media in a desperate attempt to legitimize what Americans knew was a total hoax and complete waste of time. Be assured of this. House Republicans will continue our investigation into this corrupt committee, and it will be fully funded so it can continue next Congress. Yay! More pointless Republican investigations into things that never yield any kind of results that are actionable for the Department of Justice. Yay! More wasted taxpayer dollars on something that nobody even gives a shit about, right? The Republicans released a report just a few weeks ago, because I guess they have been investigating the January 6th committee, even though they didn't really investigate the January 6th committee. They put together a report of all the things they didn't like about the January 6th committee. And in that report, they said Liz Cheney, and only Liz Cheney for some reason, should be prosecuted. Because they allege, again, as Johnson did there, Liz Cheney destroyed evidence. That claim was, of course, immediately debunked because the evidence wasn't destroyed. It still exists. It is in the hands of the federal government. They have it because that's where the evidence went. It was turned over to the Department of Justice, you idiots. If you think it was destroyed, why don't you go walk over to the DOJ, knock on the door and be like, hey, you may know me. I'm Mike Johnson. I'm from the House. Applause. Anyway, do you have the evidence from the House Select Committee investigating January 6th? Because I am, the Speaker of the House. I can see it. And the DOJ would be like, yeah, right this way, bud. Like, that puts an end to that real quick. But I guess Johnson, he's a busy guy. All of the Republicans in the House apparently a little too busy to hop in an Uber and ride over to the DOJ and say, hey, show us the evidence before we continue making, claims that these people allegedly broke the law. But it doesn't matter. They know they could have done that. But they didn't because they also know that the evidence was not, in fact, destroyed. But they're going to continue making these claims. And just like with the House investigations into President Biden, into Hunter Biden, into all of these other stupid things, we're going to have at least 2 more years of very stupid investigations that are definitely wastes of taxpayer money. And I'll tell you this, I'm okay with it. You know why? Because as long as Republicans are distracted with these phony investigations that, as usual, end up going nowhere, it means they're not hyper-focused on crafting policies that are going to destroy the country. So if they want to waste their time launching investigations into things that will not yield a single criminal charge, be my guest. Because if it helps to save this country from your legislation, then I'm all for wasting time and money on your little abuses of power. Thanks for watching today, everybody. And don't forget, if you're not already, please do subscribe to this channel. We have fresh content going up every single day, and I would really hate for you to miss out on that. And speaking of missing out, if you're not following me across all other social media outlets, then get on it. You can follow the links in the description of this video.